Good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm Jack Burton. Today I'm looking at the Zoom H5 handy recorder. I'll be doing some tests and showing you what it's all about. As always, be sure to check your screen to find the real-time information on the equipment I'm using and when I'm using it. I bought this recorder myself and I am not in any way affiliated with Zoom. If you're into recording audio in any way, you've probably heard of Zoom. They've been making audio electronics for quite a while. The Zoom H5 is a handy recorder. That's what the H stands for in H5. Handy. I'm careful not to call it a field recorder, even though it kind of is, because Zoom has the F-line that they refer to as field recorders. The F-line are much higher end recorders due to their far better preamps and other features, but I'll get into that later. The Zoom H5 is second in command when it comes to the H line of recorders. Second only to the well-known H6, or maybe third in line since the semi-recently released H8. Anyway, let's have a look at it. The Zoom H5 comes with a detachable set of mics in an XY configuration, stereo. It's called the XYH5, a completely original name. These mics can be detached and swapped with a variety of other mics for various uses. I keep mine attached because I don't want dust and debris getting into the cartridge slot here. The recorder is covered in a type of rubberized plastic that feels really good in the hand. I imagine it also minimizes handling noises too. It takes two AA batteries but will also run via USB if needed. That's a great feature. The button, dial, and input-output layout is simple and straightforward. On the front, you've got trim dials for external mics protected by a metal bar here. Track arming, stop, play, pause, skip forward and backward. And on the XYH5 mic cartridge, you've got a single trim dial that controls both the left and the right of the XY capsule together. On the left side, you've got a line out for, say, a camera. You've got headphone out, volume buttons, a mini USB port, and a hold button that doubles as an on and off button. The hold button freezes all the controls and buttons in case you need to throw it in a bag while it's recording and don't want anything accidentally to change any settings you have by bumping into it or such. On the right side, you've got a remote input to remote control the unit. You also have a toggle wheel for the internal menu system, a menu button, and a slot for your SD card. The maximum size of SD card it'll take is 32 gigabytes. On the right side of the XYH5 capsule is a physical eject button and a 3.5mm input for a lav mic or any other mic that's terminated in a 3.5mm connector. The bottom of the unit has two XLR inputs that are phantom powered and also double as balanced 1/4-inch inputs. If, say, you wanted to record direct in from a stereo keyboard, you could do so easily here. The back of the unit has a mono speaker for quickly reviewing what you've recorded without the need for headphones. It also features an all-metal 1/4-inch mount so you can mount this on a tripod or other accessories. I have a little shock mount thing that I use sometimes if I use this recorder. It mounts on that. It measures... Oh, hold on a sec. Let me just get my trusty old measuring tape here. This measuring tape was manufactured in 1937. I picked it up a very long time ago in a really cool place called Rivendell. It's Elven steel. It measures 7.5 inches long right to the tip of the XY capsule, 2.5 inches wide, and 1.5 inches thick. Let's get a closer look and boot it up. Okay, we're looking down at the Zoom H5 right now. I'm going to boot it up. Now, the thing is, it takes about 10 seconds to boot up, which sucks. So let's just let this do its thing. And there we go. All right, so here we see the main screen, which is pretty simple. It's showing you your time, how much is left on your SD card. In this case, I have 11 hours, 46 minutes that I can record at 48 kilohertz and 24-bit, which is what I have it set to. Let's go ahead and disarm these two. So let's look at the menu here. Hit the menu button. You've got the project folder. You've got your folder, your in and out, so you can put on low cuts, your compressor or a limiter. You got phantom power, so you can switch that on, and plug-in power, so that's on the side up here if you want to plug in a lav. We also have a pad, -20, that you can switch on per channel. The mid-side matrix, which is a whole other thing we can get into another time. And monitor for mid-side and monitor mixer. Line out level, which shows the level you're sending a line out. So instead of headphones, if you want to go line out, let's say to camera or to something like that, that's how you do it. All right. And then we've got the record menu. And inside the record menu, you've got record format, which is MP3 or WAV or anything like that. You can set up auto record to record at a specified time. Pre-record, so basically you can record, I think, I'm not sure how many seconds, maybe 2 seconds before you hit the record button. So let's just say you have the device switched on and then something happens right away and you hit record. It'll pre-record 2 seconds before you hit the record. That's cool. You can set up your project name, your counter, sound markers, and you got your play menu, your tools, which is really cool. In your tools, you've got tuner or metronome, which is really neat because you can tune your guitar or play to a metronome if you want to do that. And system sets your date and time, your backlight display, how long it's going to be on there, display contrast, battery type. So you can set it to, I have it to alkaline right now, which it is not an alkaline right now. It's actually a rechargeable. This is the one I have right now. It works best with alkaline batteries, just to let you know, but you can tell it what it is. And your firmware update. So I'm running version 2.1, which came out, I think, summer of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, you can factory reset. Your SD card, you can format, nice and easy. Your USB, you can switch it to the card reader, so you can attach it to your computer, see it as a folder, and then drag and drop whatever files you want. Or as an audio interface, you can use it to record music or singing or whatever directly into your computer instead of using the onboard computer. Record mode gives you multi-file or stereo file. What else we have? That's it. Nice and easy. All right, so to record, I'm just going to arm left and right, which are these capsule mics right up here. All you have to do is hit the record button. And there it is. Counting down. To stop, you can hit the stop button. Or you can hit the record button again. Or you can pause the recording with the play pause. And that's it in a nutshell. All right, back to the main review. And that's the menu. This unit can record 4 tracks simultaneously, which is great. You can use this, I guess, to do, I've never tried it, but you can use this for ambisonics. I guess you can point the XY cartridge in one way, and then you can get a couple of preferably condensers and do like another ORTF or an XY configuration pointing the other side, record at the same time, and you got yourself a little kind of a makeshift ambisonics recording. 4 mics simultaneously. I'm actually recording right now using all 4 inputs. I don't know if you can see all the lights on here at the top. Boop, boop, beep, beep, boop. I'm using all 4 because I want to switch mics in a minute. So you've been hearing me this whole time using a Røde NT1A into channel 1 on the H5. Now let's hear what it sounds like with the Stereo XY H5 capsule. So let me turn this around so you can see. All right, so now I'm using the Stereo XY H5 capsule right over here. Here I am over here, and here I am over here. So that's what it sounds like. Yeah, with the XY H5 capsule, the the cartridge, what do you want to call it? The stereo mic cartridge, the stereo mic captures a lot more. It's going to pick up every otherwise hidden sound that's in this room currently. Here is a Zoom H5 with a very low output dynamic mic plugged in. It's a Shure SM58. Here's where we are really going to hear preamp noise, if there is any. Spoiler alert, there is. Listen, I'll shut up so you can hear. All right, so that's the sound of the Shure SM58 through the Zoom H5. And that's it. All right, gonna switch back. Okay, I'm back on the Røde NT1A, which is one of the quietest mics in the world, if not the quietest mics in the world, by the way. Okay, so I don't want this video to go on forever, but I do want to show you the field recording capabilities of it. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I did handheld using the XY capsule stereo array and just pointing at things, and you can have a listen to that. But before I do that, can you do me a favor and like this video and please subscribe? It would really help me out. I'm going to try to get a few more subscribers here. Cheers. It's a handy little recorder. So let's summarize with pros and cons. In the pros column, the handy detachable XY capsule, which is capable of handling up to a whopping 140 decibels sound pressure level. That is fantastic. It's got 4-track simultaneous recording, which I'm doing right now. It records up to 24-bit 96 kilohertz, which is all most people really ever need, unless you intend to pitch it down, for sound design purposes. In that case, you might need up to 192 kilohertz, depending on what you're doing. I do like the minus 12 decibel backup recording function. That's cool. I probably should have said that earlier, but it does. It records a second backup minus 12 decibel recording. So it's called a BU recording, backup recording, just in case you peaked and you're like, crap. And then you can grab that backup recording and use that one instead. That's cool. It's got 2 mic line inputs with XLR TRS combo connectors, each with phantom power. That's cool. Built-in digital compression and limiting, which are okay. It can be used as a multi-channel and stereo USB audio interface for a computer or iPad or iPhone or whatever. It can be powered by batteries or a USB bank. That's cool. It's relatively small and can fit into a medium-sized purse or thrown in a bag. It's something that works and it's there when you need it. So those are the pros. On the cons side, the preamps aren't the best. There are worse preamps out there, of course, but these are not ideal for dynamic mics or for quiet nature ambience recording. They're just fine for louder sources though. If you're capturing dialogue with a cooler output boom mic, it might be a little work cleaning it up in post, but honestly, it's not that big a deal. Another con is the rubberized plastic surrounding the unit is nice at first, but they are known far and wide to wear down and become really sticky, like icky sticky. So that's not good. Another con is the menu system is clunky and at times makes me feel like I'm on a Tandy computer. Showing my age here. It's just slow. But again, not a big deal. I'm just being nitpicky here. Another con, I would say, is the menu wheel feels a bit cheap. But a lot of the buttons and dials are pretty good, though. I mean, you definitely don't want to drop the thing, but really you don't want to drop any recorder. And that's that. You can purchase your very own Zoom H5 for 399 Canadian dollars or 310 US dollars. Analysis. The Zoom H5 is a better recorder than the very popular Zoom H4n Pro due to the added features. It beats some of the other popular branded recorders in its class. It's a capable recorder that can serve you well for many years. Is it pro level? No, it's not. There are many other recorders with better preamps and better options out there. All said and done, though, it comes down to the preamps because that's the end product, the recordings. That's what you do this for. The Zoom H series aren't known for their ultra-quiet preamps, but the H5 and the H6 are the best of the entire H line, so you are getting the best of the H line. The Zoom F series, however, are known to have far better preamps and features. I just want to say something about my critical analysis of the preamps. I want to make it clear that the H5 will totally do what you want it to do. It's not going to ruin or hinder your productions of field recordings in any way, really. I think it all comes down to the operator and knowing the device and how to use it. If you know your gear and you understand audio recording, then this unit will serve you well for many years. I'm reminded of an episode of a podcast that I faithfully listen to called Tonebender's Podcast, where they, you know what, I'll put a link to that podcast in the description below. They do kind of a roundtable discussion with Hollywood audio pros and talk about how they captured audio or mic choices or sound design and all that fun stuff. In one episode, a veteran sound recordist, Tim Nielsen, needed the sound of bears for a movie he was working on called John Carter. Right, the Disney John Carter. He tracked down a black bear sanctuary that was many states away and spoke to the owner. But she didn't like the idea of strangers in with the bears, so Tim mailed her a Zoom H1 recorder instead. Not the newer H1N, just the original H1, which I've shown on my channel before. The old one. He sent that to her. He mailed it to her all pre-set up and everything. And she proceeded to capture 6 hours of bear sounds with this $100 recorder, and then sent it back to him. She had no experience recording anything. He ended up using a lot of those recordings not only in John Carter, but he also used them again, the same recordings that she did in The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, and in Solo, A Star Wars Story. And the original Zoom H1 is rather inferior when compared to the Zoom H5. So the moral of the story is that it's not the gear. You can do fantastic things with cheaper gear. You just need some experience, either in recording or in post-production, or both. They're just a way to... You can do anything with anything. So whatever you have, use it, because it's all about the content and the art. So anyway, do I recommend the Zoom H5? Yes. If you're on a budget and need 2 phantom-powered XLR connections, plus a built-in XY configured mic array, or need something that can record in stereo, or if you know how to clean up some potential noise in post, then it's perfectly fine. It'll do everything you want and more. But if you're looking for a pro-level sound with buttery nice preamps right out of the gate, and you will use your own mics, and you want all the other bells and whistles like Bluetooth connectivity, and have the money, then opt for a Zoom F-Series recorder like the Zoom F6 or a Sound Devices MixPre. I have one of those. There might be 1 or 2 recorders in the $300 price range that might best the H5, but I do not know of them. Do you? Let me know in the comments if you do. I'd like to check it out. So, that's the Zoom H5 handy recorder. And one more thing. Just remember what old Jack Burton does when the earth quakes and the poison arrows fall from the sky and the pillars of heaven shake. Yeah, Jack Burton just looks at that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Give me your best shot, pal. I can take it." Bye now. End transmission. And click these other videos. Any of these are good to click and watch them. And subscribe and like them and all that good stuff. Bye now.